welcome to Stay Tuned. I want to welcome our very special guest, Demarre McGill. Wasn't he amazing? Yes. So we're just going to break the ice a little bit. Demarre, what is your favorite sandwich of all time?
A Reuben.
A Reuben?
Can you hear me? Oh, yeah, I can hear myself.
Yes, a Reuben. Okay. And are you a morning person or a night person? A late night person?
I'm both.
You're both?
Yeah. No, really. I have a 3-year-old, and I play concerts. So it's
Yes, I understand that. So I think this. I want to talk about Kismet because I feel like you being here, playing Kevin Putt's concerto, and you see Kevin and I at the Cabrillo Music Festival, long time ago. Yes, and I had just started conducting professionally, and I was conducting Kevin Putt's piece at Cabrillo Festival. I was one of the conducting students of Marin Alsop and Gustav Meyer, and then to comes full circle. You and I have worked together in the Dallas Symphony when he was the principal flutist there for 2 years, I think, right? 3?
3.
3 years, and I was the assistant conductor. And then, again, another Kismet moment. We both saw each other on the ferry to St. Bart's last January.
right. That sounds so luxurious, doesn't it?
I know.
Wow.
And I was like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "What are you doing here?" And we were at this little kiosk station waiting for the ferry, and I said, "I'm conducting the orchestra this week." "Well, I'm playing in the orchestra this week." And I said, Demarre, I would love for you to come to Fresno and play the Kevin Putt's flute concerto. He's like, "I love that piece. Do you know the story about this piece?" And so we were sitting in the waiting room, and you were telling me all about it, and I was like, "Okay, this is it. We have to program it." And here you are.
Thank you for having me, really.
Yeah. But I think there's so many moments in a musical career that has those moments where you're just sitting waiting for a ferry and something happens. Can you share with us in your career, have there been moments where you're just like, wow, I turned the corner. Oh, tell us about when you saw Kevin Putt's for the first time in New York.
Right. So I've played this piece, I don't know, a handful of times, but I never met him. And I guess I had gotten used to that. And so I was just minding my own business, walking around Lincoln Center in New York. And of course, I knew what he looked like. I recognized him. Kevin! It was the weirdest thing. We didn't know what to say to each other because, really, I mean, he wrote this amazing piece that I champion and I love and I've internalized. So it feels like it's my piece. but it's not. And I don't think he really knew what to say other than thank you, because I've been championing his piece. It was great to finally.
So you were just walking across Lincoln Center? Where was it exactly?
Yeah,
he was turning the corner?
It was the plaza of Lincoln Center, across the street from Juilliard. Yeah.
So have there been other moments in your career where there was just this turn that you made by chance, or any other incident like that where you felt like, wow, I'm really lucky to have met this person, or studied with this person?
I mean, I feel like that's my entire existence. I'm not joking. I mean, when I feel like I'm living some version of a variety of dreams I had, and these dreams have everything to do with the people that I was fortunate enough to cross paths with.
Can you share some of those stories with us?
Okay, let me try to pick one. Okay, I was 7, and I found the flute in the closet that my mother bought for my father before they married. And so I went down, I'm getting to the point.
Okay.
I went down to the kitchen. I said, Daddy, like, how do you do this? He said, you put it together like this, and it's really easy. You blow across it like you blow across a Coke bottle. And I was able to get a sound, and it felt really good. It was actually an amazing feeling. My mother was teaching at a Chicago public high school. She went to the high school. We lived in the south side of Chicago. And she said, I need to do something with this kid. He found the flute. Are there any flute teachers? There happened to be a flute teacher like right around the corner. I mean, the Chicago South Side it's a big place, but it is a place that, to generalize, stereotypically speaking, you wouldn't expect to find a flutist living around the corner. But Mr. Green was right there. And so getting a sound out of the flute was easy. What if I didn't find that flute? And what if my mother decided not to ask around the high school? What if, really, what if a girlfriend didn't buy this gift for her boyfriend before I was born? Wild.
Yeah, wow, that's kind of mind-blowing. And here you are.
Yeah.
I would love for you to share with the audience the story of Mr. Rogers.
Fred. No, yeah, well, really though. Wow, another thing. That's surreal.
Yeah, how did that happen?
I was studying at the Curtis Institute of Music in Philadelphia. My brother was in high school at the Interlochen Arts Academy. I think at that time, I was 17 when I got the news. 17, about to turn 18, but so during the summer, I was at Tanglewood Music Festival then. And I don't remember, how did people get messages then? No, really. I just remember going to a payphone and calling somebody, because somehow I got a message that a fellow student of mine at Curtis, who was from Pittsburgh, had befriended the Rogers family, had recommended that they contact me and they contact my brother to be on the show. And yeah, speaking of dreams, it was like walking into a dream, because he's exactly as he was on TV. Like, really, I've never ever encountered anyone this gentle and without any kind of feeling of, I don't know, malintent, or it was just pure gentleness. That was a surreal experience. Yeah.
And you played on the show for...
Yeah, the storyline was we were supposed to be preparing for a concert, and he wanted to talk about, of course, the instruments and about feelings. Like, Demarre, do you ever feel sad when you play the flute? And if so, can you play something sad for our television neighbors? But the point was that it was a series on attire, like what do police officers wear, or what do musicians wear? So we wear our tuxedos. That was it.
And then you played happy and sad music?
Yeah, and then they had us rehearsing for our concert in our tuxedos.
Oh, wonderful. Wow, and I bet we could see that on YouTube somewhere, right?
It's out there, yeah. You can find it.
Yes. And so you have gone to Curtis, you had all this great training. What did you do after school? Like, I'm sure some people are like, how do you get into being a professional flutist? What happened after you graduated?
Well, I was depressed. In hindsight, it wasn't long at all, but it was a year and a half maybe of realizing that after all of this, it's possible that I won't be able to play a Brahms symphony again, because I had started to audition. and I couldn't figure it out. I didn't realize that auditions were so difficult. You only know what you know. And no, I figured it out,
Yeah.
obviously, but right after school, it's just, wait, now, not now what, but how?
Right. Yes. And so you were the principal flutist in Dallas, and now you are the principal flutist in the Seattle Symphony.
Right. Well, I started right out of school, like a year and some months after I graduated. I started off in the Florida Orchestra. I was principal flute of the Florida Orchestra in the Tampa Bay area, and I was happy. I was like the happiest person I've ever met.
Okay.
No, really, from being, kind of poor in Manhattan to at a pond outside of, right there. I mean, it was I was making music for a living, and I spent some time there. Then I was principal of the San Diego Symphony, principal of the Santa Fe Opera Orchestra at the same time. I left San Diego for a year to be acting principal with the Pittsburgh Symphony, went back to San Diego. Then I was principal of the Seattle Symphony for 2 seasons. Then I met you in Dallas for 3 seasons, and I left Dallas to be acting principal with the Metropolitan Opera Orchestra for 1 season, and then re-auditioned for the Seattle Symphony to be principal.
Wow. Wow. So you were all over the country.
Yeah, this was all before I married.
Okay.
I mean, it's trickier.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. And so I want to talk about being a soloist versus being a soloist, because basically being a principal flutist, you are a soloist with the orchestra. And how is that different for you creatively, artistically? What does it mean to you to stand in front of us and play the Putz concerto?
I can't imagine an existence where I'm not doing both here and there. I need both right now. I get obviously I feel like being in front is really honestly maximizing my potential. I get to play these wonderful works. I get to collaborate more intimately with great conductors such as yourself. I get to travel and meet and talk to wonderful people like you. But, Mahler didn't write a flute concerto. Schumann didn't he didn't write a flute concerto, so, nor did Schubert or Mendelssohn or Beethoven or Brahms. And I get to play that music in the orchestra. And honestly, it feels very similar to be up here and to be back there. Both require awareness of what's happening around you. I'm not going to be yelling and playing as loud as I can when I'm part of a wind choir. And I hope I'm not doing that also when I'm standing here. It's all music making that relies on context.
Yes, thank you. So I want to open the floor to questions for either one of us. Any questions? Yes.
Yes. Thursday in Seattle. Mm-hmm. No.
But you can check the Seattle Symphony schedule.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll be there through personally till the middle of June. The orchestra plays into the summer. I typically don't. Yeah, it'd be great. Do you live in Seattle? Or? Oh, find me. It's easy to find me. Yeah, really. Okay.
Yes. Okay, wonderful. Oh, yes. Yes. Wonderful. I look forward to that. Yes. Yes. Well, he's mentioning the May 9th concert I have with the Las Vegas Philharmonic, where I'm the music director designate right now. But don't worry, I am going to stay and keep both jobs. I will be here. Fresno is my home, so I just really appreciate this community, and this orchestra is wonderful. Yes?
No, it's not plated. It is it's gold, period. Yeah, it's not a better or worse thing. It's a different sound quality. I find it to be warmer, rounder. Um, you know, I can see myself at some point retiring into a silver instrument, but this is just, I'm able to create the sound that I want to create with this particular instrument. I would love to play a cheaper flute.
Yes? Go ahead. Oh, was it a gold-plated flute or a real gold flute? And it's, oh,
If it makes a difference, the material, the metal, it does.
go ahead. You had a question. The question is, how do you breathe playing the instrument? Because the audience did not hear you breathe at all.
I did breathe, I promise you that. I did. In a nutshell, by the way, I don't think you shouldn't be gasping. Has nothing to do so much with like lung capacity. It's not lung capacity. It's breath control, like a balloon, controlling the amount of air that's going through the instrument.
Yes.
Could you say something about your musical heroes in your career and your mentors?
Demarre or myself?
Let's do both.
Okay, let's start with Demarre.
Sure. I want to hear yours too. Mr. Barry Elmore, he was band teacher but he gave me solo opportunities even before I was old enough to play in band. And he comes to every concert I give in Chicago. Like every single one. He is still there. Find you a Barry Elmore and you're going to find your version of success. Susan Levington, my teacher, private flute teacher for most of my time in Chicago. Amazing, really amazing. All of my teachers, my parents who gave us the right ingredients to find our version of success. Just work harder than everyone else and be really honest about what you're producing. You know? Yeah.
I can't follow up with that.
Yeah, you can.
So I was a piano student at USC, and my teacher was John Perry. He just passed away. And he was one of these teachers that everybody in his studio played completely different. You know how some teachers, everyone plays the same way. And he was one where he pulled out everyone's strengths and weaknesses. And actually, he was the first person to inspire me to conduct. And because he was always conducting on top of me, while I was playing Chopin's Sonata or whatever it was. And then I went, and luckily I had the opportunity to study with Gustav Meyer at Peabody. And he was another guru-like teacher, very demanding, but again, like all of his conductors, we were so different in our style, approach, study, everything. But he was always able to pull everything out of that one person. And I just, he also passed away about 10 years ago, but I just feel like those two people were just really big influences on how I think about music, how much I love music. And there was one time where I played for Gustav Mahler, I played a piano concerto. And I was trying to figure out how to play and conduct, and he was so encouraging. He said, you should always keep up with your playing, because you can do this. You can play and conduct. And he loved the way I played, but also he's just like, this is how, he was just really open about different ways of looking at music and approaches to music. And I think that's kind of influenced the way I, look at new music or living composers, and curious, just being constantly curious. That was a great question, by the way. Yes.
When did you start conducting?
The question is, when did I start conducting? After I got my doctorate in piano performance at USC, took a little break, tried a few conducting workshops, and then I went back to school. So I think if I added up all the years I went to school, it was like 16 years of college or something crazy. So it was much later that I decided that this was my instrument, was conducting. 88 musicians or 78 musicians, it's the instrument is so amazing. It's so organic, and every person is so alive, and they contribute so much to it. It's like an instrument, but it's like an amoeba. I don't know, It's got tentacles, it kind of moves around, and there's fluidity, it's just an incredible feeling. I hope someday you get a chance to experience that.
As a conductor, how many instruments do you play?
I play the piano, the violin, and I did try the flute in 7th grade. Yes, and yeah, piano is my instrument. Yes. Any other questions? Yes.
How are you able to mentor other people?
Myself or Demarre? Okay, Demarre, you want to do mentor?
Yeah, teaching is a very important part of my professional existence. I actually can't imagine at this point in my life without it, because I try to keep up. I try to really practice what I teach, and I'm fortunate enough to have really good students. I teach at a wonderful school in Los Angeles called the Colburn School, and the students are absolutely top notch, and I like that. I want them to be great, and I try to keep up with their potential. Yeah.
Yeah, and I also try to mentor women conductors as much as I can, including having them come and guest conduct. So next season you will see a friend of mine, Rebecca Tong, conducting in November. She's fantastic. She's not a student or anything, but she's a professional conductor. So being a part of Marin Alsop's fellowship, the Taki Alsop Fellowship, she mentors women conductors, and so I try to, kind of instill that in the way I help conductors as well. But all conductors of all ages. I think we have only time for one more question. Yes?
I heard recently, I have a friend, her daughter, who's in high school, last month, or actually in February, played at, what is it, New York? Famous theater here.
Carnegie Hall?
Carnegie Hall, yes, thank you. And so they know you from, Fresno here and the film line and so forth. So we were talking about you one day, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but she said, oh, she doesn't even live here, Karen. She lives elsewhere and flies here for the film. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Yes, yes, it is true. I live in the Midwest, and I commute here for the concert weeks, but I feel like I live here. I feel like this is my home. I've been here 9 seasons now. Yes. And I'm so grateful for, to be the music director here and to work with the community here so much. I appreciate all of you very much, and I'm going to be moving to Las Vegas, so it'll be closer commute.
I follow you on Facebook.
Oh, okay, great. And so, you know, it'll be nice to be on the West Coast. So thank you all so much. Thank you, Demarre, for a wonderful performance today. Have a great rest of your day.